The topics in the news before we jump into that, though, first off, there is another Google Chrome 0 day. The update released for this one on June 30th. So Chrome and Edge both had updates that needed to be deployed last week leading up to Patch Tuesday. So we just wanted to make sure people are aware of that. Do be sure to make sure that your browser updates are all getting in place with your regular maintenance there. If you're not doing a more aggressive update schedule for the browsers, we just want to make sure that's on your radar for keeping up to date there. Those of you who were on last month, you remember the lead up between May and June Patch Tuesday. We had 5 weeks of pretty intense back-to-back browser updates. So if you did not see last month's webinar, check that out on the Patch Tuesday page. You'll see the June update. You'll be able to go back and look at that. I had a slide that kind of laid out the 5 weeks and what all happened in there, including 2 other Chrome 0 days and some Firefox notables that came up in a hacker competition. So browsers in general, expect that you have something to do on a weekly basis. If for those of you using our Neurons for Patch Management cloud solution, you know that we've been designing certain features around focusing on more frequent priority updates for applications like browsers, independent of your regular monthly maintenance as well. So you may do your monthly, OS update and any third-party apps that need to go at the same time there, but we highly suggest you should be configuring for more aggressive remediation of some of these third-party apps that upgrade much more continuously, especially the browsers, for good reason.
Chris, one point you might make here, Chris, is there actually was a Chrome release yesterday. We don't have it here in the presentation because it didn't address any specific CVEs like they called out. But as Chris mentioned, these are all cumulative, so it does address the 0 days that they've had over the last couple of weeks. So make sure, even though we're not calling it out here specifically in the presentation day, there was a Chrome release yesterday. Same thing for Firefox. They also have released the Firefox release. So just stay on top of those. Just want to call that out.
A good question that came in. When it comes to browsers like Edge, Firefox, Chrome, does that require a computer restart? No, it does not require a computer restart. The browser may need to be restarted, and that's a fairly minimal interruption for the user. I mean, the browser experience is now, you can pretty much recover what your last browser session was with a single click. So it's pretty lightweight to get back up and running there. So we recommend that more frequent task be one that you don't necessarily have to do a reboot with. You can have it set to reboot only if necessary, or not do a reboot at all if you're doing applications like the browsers that don't require a system restart. So that is definitely highly suggested, though, making sure that you get the browser updates happening more frequently. There are many third-party applications that continuously update. They are on a third party, or the third-party apps, very few do a consistent schedule like Patch Tuesday. Adobe is one of the few. Browsers release pretty much whenever they're ready. Other applications like the Zoom or different applications like that, all just as soon as they're ready, they release. Even Apple doesn't have a consistent release schedule. They release about every 3 to 5 weeks. Most vendors do a continuous release cycle, not a set schedule. So that's where we try to encourage people to consider that in their scheduling of their maintenance, because many of the things that are happening outside of Patch Tuesday. And Todd's going to show that towards the end of today's session.